trying a different angle, although I think the glare from the window hits my glasses. Glasses off. Let's try this. So today, I think we're gonna do like a little fun Instagram trend, art trend that I've been seeing floating around for a while now. And it's where artists use like a color noise filter that allows that kind of like, how do I explain this? I'm bad at explaining with words, but I will try to explain this with words as best as I can. So it's a trend where they use like a colorful noise filter and then the liquefy tool to essentially randomly pick colors for different parts of the drawing. So the hair will be one color, it'll randomly pick one color, the skin will be one color, the eyes will be another color, stuff like that. And they have to make a illustration based off of it. And I've been seeing it float around on Instagram for a while, and I've been meaning to try my hand at it. And so today, that is what we're gonna do. I think we are just gonna do like 2 versions of it. I have a sketch already done of like the idea that I was kind of thinking of. And then we're gonna allow the liquefy and like colorful noise layer to pick the colors that we need. But essentially that is my plan. It's like kind of a quick fun little video, I don't know. So we are going to do that. I am going to take you into a top-down mode, and we are going to do just like little doodles, and you can kind of see it's going to be mostly a speed paint, I think, but I'm gonna show like examples, and I'm gonna try my hardest to make the colors work with each other, even though they're gonna be like very random. I'm gonna try to make the colors work as best as I can. We're gonna just hop into it and see like what results we're gonna get. All right, let's go into top down mode. Yeah! All right, that's enough energy for that. All right, let's try this. I'm gonna turn on this, and we're gonna go to liquefy, distortion, I think is what we wanna do. We're gonna do the skin first. All right, pink. Then we're gonna do the hair next. Teal. Now for the bodysuit. Pink. Like very close to her skin tone. Then we gotta do the fur. Okay, that's like pinky purple gradient. I'm kind of here for it. Then I wanted to do the spots. Green. We're getting like an interesting color palette here. Now we're gonna do eyes. Now let's do eyeshadow. And then we'll do lip color. Here's hoping that we get a good color. Blue. I think that's the design. Maybe we'll do a few of these. So we'll do this one, design A. Starting fresh. New one. Let's do the eyes first. Okay, cool, like a heterochromia. I think I want to do skin tone next. Lipstick. Okay, pink. Eyeshadow. Green. Hair color. Purple. Her outfit. Color, all right. The spots. Rainbow, I kind of like that. It's giving like Lisa Frank. This thing, the shawl, the boa. Purple, again. All right, we can work with that. Well, that's the next one, so I guess we'll do this one too. And yeah, we'll do both of these and see how they go. Let's move into an actual sketch, because this is just a little preliminary one.
So we are going to do something slightly different this time, and I'm just going to answer a few questions that I got on my Instagram. I opened up my Instagram stories for kind of like a Q&A session for this one. So I'm just going to answer a few questions while I work on this illustration. So the first one is from Dee Dee Doodles, and it says, "Hi Savannah, what software do you use for drawing?" So easy one to start with. I use Procreate, and I work on an iPad, and I have an Apple Pencil, and all of the brushes that I normally use will be listed in the little box below. Parker Rocks 19 says, "I know you may not see this, but how did you and your hubby meet?" We met on a video game. We met on a video game called Terra. It's like an MMO, and we were guildmates for a long time, and we were just friends only for like a while, and then we were both like, wait a minute, I think we like each other. He lived in Canada at the time, and I was going to school in Georgia, and we just still really liked each other, and eventually, one thing led to another, and he moved down here for me, and we got married, and yeah. Monica Kapupu, sorry if I said it wrong, asked, "Do you also do nail art? I feel like you'd be so amazing at it." The answer is yes, kind of. I do my own. So all of the nails that you see, almost all the nails you see in my videos are done by me. Maggie Rose Studio asks, "What animated movie would you have loved to work on?" Oh my gosh, this is a really hard one because essentially any of my favorite movies I feel like I would have loved to work on. The Last Unicorn, Fern Gully, any of the Studio Ghibli movies. Yeah, there's so many. I would have loved to work Fantasia, any of those I feel like I would have been so happy to work on. Oh, and Prince of Egypt. Oh, I would have loved to work on Prince of Egypt. My friend Kelly asks, "If one of your drawings came to life and moved in with you, who would be the best and worst roommates?" This one's a hard one because I feel like a lot of the puppets would be pretty chill to live with. I think Honey would probably be really good to live with, and yeah, I would say Honey would probably be the best because she'd be baking all the time, making goodies, and super keeping the house clean and everything. Nillipod asks, "What is a fashion style that you love but wouldn't personally wear?" This one's tricky because there's so many fashion styles that I love. I guess maybe a very over-the-top elaborate goth look. I feel like those always look really awesome, but my goth phase is gone. I did it in high school, and I'm done. I'm not doing it again. But I appreciate a really good, over-the-top goth look, I think. Cherry Deluxe 2D asks, "How is con season? Any plans for next year yet?" Con season was really good this year. I did MomoCon and Dragon Con. We did great at both of them, which was really, really awesome. Next year, I am thinking, obviously, MomoCon and Dragon Con again. I'd like to get into Lightbox again, and there might be a chance that I'll be doing New York Comic Con and maybe C2E2, but I'm not sure. Here's hoping, fingers crossed. I have a contact. We're gonna see how that pans out. Lavender Luna 57 asks, "Any plans for Spooky Month?" I don't have any specific plans on things that I'm gonna do in my life party-wise. But content-wise, I want to make a spooky doll. I got a bunch of stuff from Michael's a month ago when, for whatever reason, they had a ton of Halloween stuff. And I got a cloche and all of these little tiny miniature candles and stuff. And I really want to make a spooky doll to go inside of it. I just don't know what yet. But overall, I'm not actually a very spooky type person. Halloween is not one of my favorite holidays. My favorite holiday is Christmas, actually. So probably only just gonna make that doll, and then I don't know. All right, I'm gonna take a break from some of the questions because I do want to explain a little bit of my process here. So in order to unify the colors, since they were kind of all over the place, I have this blue periwinkle lip and nails, this olive green color for the spots, a hot pink boa, and then kind of a muted teal hair and muted pink skin and pink bodysuit. So in order to separate them all out and make them distinct but also unified, my plan was to kind of go in and use some of the colors in other areas. So for example, the blush here is the same hot pink from her boa. And then I used different tones for the skin versus the bodysuit. So the skin, I kind of went a little more like brownish pink. And then for the bodysuit, I tried to go in a more saturated direction, trying to steer it almost in the direction of the boa. So that was what I decided to do to separate the skin tone from the bodysuit specifically. I decided to use this periwinkle just as its little accent. And then the different colors for the bell and the zipper, I used the low lights of the teal of her hair. And then the highlights for the hair, I used as the color from the bell. Even in the spots here, I was using the darker color from her hair to put in the shadows of the spots. And then the highlights on the spots, I used the lighter part of her hair. So it kind of unified the colors a little more. At least I think it did. And it's still like very intense, but I feel like it doesn't look as disjointed anymore. Taking little bits of the colors that are already existing in the illustration and adding them in other spots. For the next girl, what I actually did was I just duplicated everything, all of the colors, the way that they were, and then I put a clipping mask above each layer and messed around with the colors to get the right colors from the reference. And then I just went in on top and added extra shading and darkened areas and lightened areas and, you know, just refined things. So there isn't as much of a process video part for this specifically because it's essentially the same exact idea as the other girl, just with different colors. So her skin was yellow, and you can see here that I just messed around with overlay and everything just to make it look correct to the reference. And then I added extra shading and the blush and the shading in the hair. As for the spots, I went in individually and added different shading to each one. This outfit was a little more unified than the other one because it was mostly just like yellows and purples. So that made it easier to combine colors. The only big difference really was the spots. And I was okay with them kind of being a standout thing on their own anyway. So yeah, I just went in and just added highlights and lowlights everywhere that needed to have it on the spots specifically. I'll answer 2 more questions and then we'll probably finish this up and jump to the reveal. So, Pizza Pie 30 asks, which contemporary artists inspire you? And I think that that's a really good question. I feel like it's almost so easy to be inspired by so many artists now because of Instagram and stuff. So if you're really, really curious, you could probably just go to my Instagram and look at who I follow. There's so many good artists out there that I can't even list them all. But some of the really big standout ones that I can think of off the top of my head are Hayao Miyazaki, Shane Glines, Bruce Timm, Stephanie Pepper, Bab Straws. Like I could go on listing different people forever because there's so many amazing artists. But those are just the tip of the iceberg of inspiration now for me. Cutesy Mermaid asks, what other aesthetics or eras do you love but don't draw as much? Eras, I really love the vibe of like the 20s, that like Art Deco style, and then also Art Nouveau. I like both of those a lot. I don't really draw in them, but I do appreciate them a lot. I also really, really love the hyper pop, like bright colors, sparkly vibes, more like anime inspired stuff too, but I also don't really draw in anime style anymore. I used to. That was like my foundation for drawing. I did anime, but I obviously diverted from that and pulled more inspiration from classic vintage artists from like the 40s and 50s. And speaking of sparkly and shiny, I wanted to add a bunch of shininess to this illustration. And once I did that, let's move on to the final images. That's about it for this video. Let me know what you think about this, if this was like a fun little challenge to watch, and if you want me to do more of these. And also let me know which girl is your favorite. Do you like the girl on the left or do you like the girl on the right? And if you want to give them names, you can. I don't have any specific names. I just felt like it was a cute little doodle. So let me know your opinions down below. And if you liked the little question and answer situation, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if you like my work, you can support me on Instagram, on Ko-fi, and also through my sticker club. All of my links are down below. My sticker club, you get new stickers every single month, and they're a fun little surprise. You get a cute little pink envelope every month, and feel free to sign up if that's something that interests you. The links are all down below. All right, goodbye.